Good evening, good evening, good evening. Hello out there. Good evening. Good evening, people. Happy 4th of July 2023. Yes, this is Spirit Journey. Boy, what a journey I feel today. Good evening. The time is now, let's see here, 8:48 p.m. Yes, I'm here in New York City. It's still light outside, and it is 4th of July. It is, so what's that day of the week? It is Tuesday also. Yes. Yes, it's Tuesday. And what a day I had. What am I feeling right now? Yes, I did a live video with my cell phone outside. I haven't done that in over a year. And so I'm home right now. I had to do some shopping for my little ones here, my little fur babies. Got home, and a friend of mine sent me a video, and I took a look at it. It was a short clip. I think it was a TikTok video, and boy, it had me thinking. I had to take a look at it. It's really something. Sometimes you could look at something and you think that something else is going to come out of something, but it's still just as good. Yeah, I was showed a video. Wow, my doggies, you hear that? My doggies are they're like scratching the ground. Oh, they say, "Oh gosh, mommy's on the internet again. It's going to be a while." Is that it, guys? You're scratching on the pad? Okay. Well, yeah. So I was showed a video. Someone shared a video with me, a little clip, and it was very interesting. And it's about, well, what I want to talk about with this video, this live stream. I entitled it "Hollywood, CIA, and Patriotism, Remembrance." Yes, I start out this day focused that this is the 4th of July, 2023, but I feel different this 4th of July. I did put on my flag pin. I saw two flags, blowing in the wind today. But outside of that, not much festivities this morning. Maybe they were still in bed. Yeah, I left around 9 o'clock in the morning to do some shopping. It just had a quiet feel to it. But I think it started picking. Yes, hello, viewer. Good evening. Good evening. Yes, I have an interesting topic today: Hollywood, CIA, and Patriotism, Remembrance. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good live stream. Um, yeah, I was shoot a video, and so this is going to take what is happening in our government, things that happened in history that I did not know about, and how things overlap. You start to wonder, uh, there seems to be a link with Hollywood and the CIA. And I put in patriotism because sometimes people are doing things because that they want to preserve certain elements in the country, the nation, and they want to keep it. And in remembrance, because there are stories that happened in the past that had the American people on edge, wonder what's happening. And I just feel that this past 3 years has everybody just walking on pins and needles, and what is being politically correct, and where's the nation headed? I love my country, and yes, I've experienced things that were not positive, but I see now as an adult, no one's life is perfect, and it is about the journey, whether it's spiritual or not. We're all going to have a journey. And sometimes it's going to be bumpy, sometimes a little smooth. But in the end, I like to believe you get what's intended for you to have. And this is one of them. Well, anyways, I was shared a video um, about things that are created. And I want to share that with you. Okay. Hope I can find it here. I'm gonna share. I think it's better to show you than try to describe it. But it has to do with these masks and how masks were created, and people. What is real? You can meet someone. Are you meeting who you're really meeting? So let me share you how real some of these masks are. Again, this I don't know how old this short clip is, but let me show you. I'm going to share the screen. Just take me a moment. Come on. Okay, allow. Okay, I hope I get it here. Okay. Now this here was sent to me, and they're going to put. Oh, let's see. Let me just put it on mute. Oops. I think that's mute. It's about these masks. And it just kind of like, whoa. let me turn it on. Are we seeing who we really see? Okay, I took the sound off. Now this woman here, she works for this CIA, and she was in charge of certain that type of camouflage. And as you see that she talked to the president. This is her showing one of the masks that she had on, and the masks are so lifelike. It kind of spooks me. Okay, so let me see. Put a fast forward. Oh, they're going to show something. Okay, look at that. That's supposed to be our president. And look at this. They're showing, look at this neck, that it's suggesting that this is not who you think he's talking. Look at that. Obama. Oh, God. What is this now? Isn't that something? I just thought it was spooky. They keep showing the president, and they show him on different backgrounds. People, look at that. They have a green screen, right? Oh, it's still showing. I thought I put on pause. Let me fast forward a little bit. Okay, so proceeds now. Now she's explaining about this movie. When this movie came out, Planet of the Apes, she had an idea. This woman that worked for the CIA. There was a situation that happened in the government. See this guy here? This is from a movie. Oh, let me turn it. Keep on going. That was Ben Affleck that you saw a moment ago. This guy, he's the actor Ben Affleck. And this movie, this is a clip now of a movie called Arco or Argo, and it was based on a true event. Remember the incident in Iran, and you had people at the U.S. embassy, and it was stormed by some of the uh, people who were taking over the country, and they had to flee. Some of them were taken hostage. They were held hostage for 444 days, but there were a group of other people who sneaked out the back way, and they hid out at the I think it was the Canadian embassy. And this was in 1979. I remember 1979. I was in the 12th grade, I remember. And I remember it was, they were saying things, the Shah of Iran, they said that word a lot. I didn't understand these things. It always made me uncomfortable, politics back then. I didn't enjoy listening to it. I just kind of block it all out. But there was an event in Iran in 1979, and uh, the the government was being taken over and put in a religious ruler. Iran is a Muslim country, and they were taking over authority over the country, and the leader of that time was fled. I think he left the country or something. He was forced out. But there were six people, six American people, that were hiding out at the embassy, Canadian embassy. And in this movie, this man played a true character who worked for the CIA. And his assignment, well, I should say, what he wanted to do was to free the people. And it's successful. But boy, did that movie, um, it had me very, very anxious and scared for the people. Sorry about that. Yeah, it was very, very, very good. And I could still play it while it's the talking. Yeah, Argo, Argo. That's Ben Affleck. It came out some years ago. I'm not sure when it came out. And when I found out that this movie was about, um, I'm sorry, when I learned that the movie was about the event with the Shah, I mean, with the U.S. embassy being sieged and the six hostages, secret hostages. I mean, I'm sorry, the six people who escaped. They they were to be released. I mean, to be smuggled out. I said to myself, "Wow." Now I thought actually Argo was going to be like, because see the CIA woman, she introduced about the masks. So I thought Argo was going to be about him making up some type of excuse to go in Iran and to put disguises on the people. But that's not what actually happened. That didn't happen at all. But but he did have to come up with an excuse, and they use, oh, they're making a movie, and they're looking, they have people, that like, you have the director, the scout, and all these other, total of six people, and they were supposed to be Canadian, and they had a script made. No, they had the script already, and other stuff. And I'm not going to give the whole movie, but it's a good ending. The movie, it was drama, and it had me scared. I was, I was frightened for them. 'Cause again, I didn't know what the outcome was going to be, whether it was going to be an attempt, to make the attempt to get them out, and was it successful or not. I don't know, you know. Um, but it had me on edge, and I think this had me on edge, um, more than I think it would have, because of the social climate now. I was watching some footage on, oh, was that on France? Yeah, let me show you that. Yeah, I heard that. Let me see here. Let me just click on here. I'm gonna write. Oh, is that it? Let's see. This page is acting. Let me see. Sorry about that. Oh, I was hoping I would be able to navigate and go on different windows. I was attempting to look up something for you guys. Yeah, I wanted to look up Marseille. Yeah, okay, so I won't do that. Um, yeah, I was just showing up the movie, Argo, about the hostages that were in Iran in 1979. And the fear I had while watching the movie. Yeah, I'm still very anxious, very, very anxious. And, but I was anxious because things that are happening overseas, such as in France. And what's happening in France, a 17-year-old, uh, his ancestry, his background is, he's a North African, Moroccan, and Algerian background, and he was um, riding his a car, a sports car, and the police stop him, and the boy was shot by the police, and it created a riot. At least that was the catalyst. And they're rioting in Paris where the incident occurred. And on top of that, they have a mayor in one of the suburbs in Paris. Guess what happens? Um, while he was at a meeting, I forget what you call those type of town hall meeting. His wife and children were at home. Someone stole a car, a vehicle, big vehicle, and rammed it into his property, into his home. And the family had to escape the back way. They had injuries. It's like crazy, crazy, crazy. I mean, one thing if the mayor of that town shot that boy, and to get the person who did that, but to go after an innocent person's family who had nothing to do with what police officers did. I mean, you know, you can't just because you're angry at someone to just do that. Um, it's like everyone is on pins and needles these days, and people are reacting, and we just gotta calm down. Um, why am I sharing this? Yeah, yeah. So the signs of the time, people are on edge, and people are looking for excuses to hurt someone, anyone. People are there's I think it's a calypso song. It's called or at least in the song that I was told about, an angry man, a hungry man is an angry man. There's a lot of hunger out there, spiritual hunger, social hunger, food hunger, but a hunger, and when it's not quenched, uh, it results in anger, and that's what looks like is happening now in France, and it's just waiting for a catalyst to happen. It reminds me of an incident that happened to me when I was in the military. I was in the military. And in the military, I was in the Navy, and we were ported in Marseille. Marseille is a very old city in southern France, right by the Mediterranean Sea. And yes, they're doing rioting now in Marseille. Isn't that something? And yes, I was thinking about last year. See, I was supposed to leave the country last year in October, and I just had 6 more weeks to finalize everything and go. But plans fell through. And so I was looking for alternatives. And I did look into France, and it seems like some of the places that I've been to or was considering have been targeted. And it's like really something like I like the city of Nice in southern France that had a terrorist attack a couple of years back, and I mean it was a pretty city, really nice. And then Marseille, when I was in the military, we were that was one of our ports of call, and it's a very old city. And you know what that city has? That city has a lot of people from North Africa, and They're Arab speaking. And yes, some of them speak of, many of them can speak French, but Marseille has a lot of Arab speakers. And even though it's Europe, and it was a beautiful city, they had some great vendor food, boy. We call it the smash sandwich. That's what we call the smash sandwich. It was a baguette, and it had fromage, which means cheese, and it looked like type of like hamburger meat, fries, French fries, and I think they might have had sauerkraut too. They might have put like a mustard or something. And then they had this fancy grill and had these little squiggly lines like a snake or something, little skinny, you know, wiggly lines on the waffle iron, and then scrunched it together. It was awesome, awesome, and then it comes out real flat. Honey, it was real cheap too back then. This is way over 30 years ago. And then you get your little soft drink, and then you sit on the curb and you just eat and relax. And that's what I did in Marseille. But there was an incident that happened in dear old Marseille, France. Yeah, it's a port city. And me and a shipmate, I think 7 o'clock or 7:30 is when we're allowed off the ship, and you can go and sightsee or whatever, and in the morning you can come back in the morning. You have to make sure you muster by morning time. Okay, so me and one of the shipmates went out, and it was still light outside when I went. I think it was in September, August or September. It could have been September. So it's starting to get a little darker earlier. But I remember when we left, it was still a little light outside, because I remember I was looking at the stores, and I remember that there were a lot of pastry shops, and it had the nationality of who baked of the bake shop. It was a pastry shop that I remember. I don't remember the nation that we went to. I mean the store that we went to. I forget what his said, but I just I just want I like pastries and everything. And I remember when I was walking in with my shipmate, it was another woman, and again this is Europe. And yes, we were dressed, we were dressed very modestly. I was wearing uh, dungaree pants that were baggy, and a big, long dungaree jacket that went, covered, my hips, but, very baggy also. Um, and I remember when we stepped in, they looked at us real funny, like really mean like. And I'm just thinking, oh, we could, we didn't do anything, and maybe this is just how he normally looks. Some people, when you look at them, they naturally look mean. They just look like grumpy people. Well, I made the mistake. They were actually grumpy. They were. And so my friend ordered first, and I remember how they were like rushing her. I didn't like that, and I was kind of like naive. I was in my 20s, mid 20s, and so it was my turn to order. And so there were this little pastry. They looked like like a pretzel, like a small pretzel, a pastry pretzel, real skinny, and you deep fry it. It's like a sugary thing. A lot of those Indian stores have them. And so I'm bent down and I'm looking at through the window, you know, and I say, oh, I like one of those. So he grabs one. Then I said, no, not that one, that one. So he gets angry, throws it down. He comes from behind the counter and then he hits me in my chest, hits me in my chest. And then they start yelling. And when he did that, I put my hand out. I said, don't touch me. Don't touch me. I had my finger at his face. I said, don't touch me like that. I remember that. And then he turns around and is arguing with my shipmate in Arabic, and he just blah, 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 as if she understands. But my friend actually did look could easily. I don't know what her ethnicity was, but she was very fair skinned and a very prominent nose and the dark curly hair. And so I surmise that he might have thought we were, or at least my friend was an Arab, and uh, we weren't supposed to be outside. And I we didn't tell these superiors on the ship. We kept it to ourselves. But I remember how I felt. I was like, I felt embarrassed, and I know I shouldn't be embarrassed. We didn't do anything wrong, but how people in their culture and religion could go overboard. And they may feel because of their culture, their religion, or that they share the same language, that they have a right to you and to do what they please. And the anger that I felt for them to touch that part, I mean, I didn't get hurt. I was like, whoa, what's this problem? So even before we even ordered anything, that certain cultures may not blend well with other cultures. So some cultures, if you're a woman, um, they may not want you to be outside. Yeah, it was interesting. We also went to Egypt also, and I noticed like like 1 minute you have male and female. I remember it was still light outside. And then all of a sudden, like zoom, no women. First you have everybody out on the street, and then zoom, all men. And I was like, whoa! It was the first time I was ever uh, in an environment like that. First time, and it was just so something that I just noticed. So I guess it wasn't that late when we were in Marseille. Again, it was we I think we left the ship around 7 o'clock, 7 p.m. So maybe by this time might have been 7:30, no longer than 8. But is that really late? What if we had husband? What if we had to get something for our family, and I was getting something for my husband or whatever? You know, but there's always reasons. We wanted to get a little something. Either way, I think that's extreme when when you can't ask. You Do you think these guys, if they want something and they picked up the wrong one or not the one that you want, is that a religious thing that you cannot ask if someone picks the wrong one? You have a right to ask which one you want. You have a right to, politely. Hey, no, I would like that one. You got to pay for it, right? Yeah. So I try to give people the benefit of the doubt. But my friend, when they served her, and it just rubbed me the wrong. See, I'd never experienced that type of overt, but I didn't expect it. I just didn't expect it. But yeah, overseas, Oh, they're starting the firecrackers now. Fireworks, that's what fireworks. Yeah, I hear them now in the background. Yeah, so you might hear some boom booms out there. Yes, a happy 4th of July. Well, anyways, so that incident that happened over 30 years ago, um, it scared me. Yeah, okay. So this was in, okay, the year was 80 88. So this was 9 years after the Iranian hostage situation, 9 years. Okay. And things like that, when you go overseas, when you encounter stuff like that, you don't really forget. And I can feel the social tension here in the United States, here in New York City. I'm very sensitive. I always been very sensitive, and I I'm the type of person, I try to avoid pain as much as possible. That's me. If I don't want to experience something, I will avoid it. And that would mean, not going outside at certain times. Yeah, I have to redo my schedule just to prevent certain things, and that's what I feel I've been doing this past month, uh, past 30 days, that avoidance of certain things, and just trying to preserve my peace. Peace is so important, people. Peace is very important. So I think that's why, when I was watching Argo, the movie with Ben Affleck, about the Iran hostage situation, um, but again, it was a subplot. Because see, back in those days, they only talked about the main, the main hostages that everybody knew about, but I knew nothing about the six hostages. I mean, okay, there's the main hostages that everybody knows about, and then there was the hidden hostages that were out hiding in the Canadian embassy or consulate, something like that. Yeah, I think it was the embassy, and they were smuggled out, and you have to do some crazy things. And that Argo is also reminiscent of this movie called Wag the Dog. Any of you ever heard of that movie, Wag the Dog? Wag the Dog. It did come out on YouTube. I saw it a couple of years back. I couldn't find it again. But Wag the Dog. Now, what was Wag the Dog about? Again, it used the government, and I think that's also involving, the Alphabet Soup agency and Hollywood also. And they created a false narrative. They had control over the media, and it was all an act. They got these actors to put and pretend there's a war going on in a particular place. And it just kind of blew my mind. I mean, when the movie came out some years ago, I I um I mean, I had no idea it was about, that about deception. How much do you think people, Hollywood and CIA, collaborate? If they did, wag the dog, Hollywood and government, I think they work hand in hand. The oldest movie motion picture in the United States was a propaganda film. I forget the name, but it was all just propaganda to make white America hate black people and fear them. And it utilized the all white actors, and they had whites with dark makeup on and pretending to be a black person in the movie, and that these dark skinned men would, you know, violate the white women there, and to make a policy, a government policies, to protect white people. But there was no, but the movie was just the Hollywood movie of that day. It was all propaganda to make people afraid of each other. Don't you think they're doing that now? I mean, so if the very first movie that was made, it was a silent picture. If they did that back then, don't you think that they, you know, that what's the difference? What is the difference of Hollywood and CIA to create something for you to see? It's just that now with technology, they can make anything look like anything. The mask, could you believe it? The masks. And I'm watching this YouTuber for a little over a year now, this YouTuber, and he notices trends in, he did news reporting before, and he's noticing certain themes, like you're watching a news footage, and he's noticing certain patterns, and he's questioning, is this authentic? Is this authentic? And he notices that they wear certain colors or certain numbers keep repeating. And I start to wonder also, like when I watch the news now on social media, and I'm looking, I say, hey, I bet that YouTuber is probably questioning this news report. And if you could control someone's mind, you can control their actions, what they're thinking, what they think of each other or themselves. And is this really the era of, isn't this the era of information? What do you want people to know? Or what you don't want them to know? So I start to ask those situations. What's really going on? Yeah, I think there was something else I wanted to show you. Oh, what was that now? Looking at these tabs. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have to really think about reality and patriotism. I mean, Argo was a movie. It was a patriotic movie, getting, saving Americans, bringing them home. But what's happening now? It seems like Americans are being vilified, and yes, you have some bad Americans. But I say, this Fourth of July holiday, 2023, um, that it's okay to claim to be an American, and that this is a nation that people from all over the world want to live and work and have children here and want to practice their faith systems here. This is the country that you can do almost anything. And right now it's going through growing pains. I'm wondering how the stress, whether, what's going on to make certain people act a certain way. I start to wonder. And some comic relief here. I'll show you this other video. This is more of comic relief. Let me show you something here. Okay, this just take me a moment here, setting up everything. Okay, let me see this one here. Okay, I'm going to show you this video. It's a short clip, and I show it for different reasons. For comic relief, because it sounds really, it's really weird, but at the same time, what is happening to American people? What's happening? So let me show you it.
Woman's meltdown was caught on video as she frantically demanded to get off a plane and claimed someone in the back of the aircraft was not real.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't get too, but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can
Sorry.
and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Footage.
What is that all about? I'm going to play that again. I'm going to play that again. I mean, it sounds stupid when I just needed to laugh a little bit because it was getting really tight for me. Let me play it again. And then again, if this lady is really stressed out, I apologize to her, but this is really different.
One in the back of the aircraft was not real.
I'm telling you, I'm getting the off, and there's a reason why I'm getting the off, and everyone can either believe it or they cannot believe it. I don't get too, but I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real. And you can sit on this plane and you can die with them or not. I'm not going to.
Wow. I don't know. I don't know, people. I don't know. I mean, what's going on here? What is this poor lady? I mean, pretty sure. Now, is this real or not? What did the woman see that stressed her out that much that she uh as a result of her doing this, that the passengers had to leave for 3 hours. They didn't take off. 3 hours, and she was able to go through security. It said, but I hope she's okay. If this is really what she felt, this woman, um, I hope everything is resolved, and you're in peace and safety, peace of mind right now. Okay, if this was a joke, boy, what would make this happen in Dallas, Texas? What stressed her out? This happened, I think, 2 days ago. What would make a young woman like this want to get up because she feels that someone's not real? What is it? What is it? I don't know, people. But I put this, I left this, I'm leaving this in for this live stream because, see, it's about reality. People, are people, did someone have a mask on? You really start to wonder. Somebody might see something and see, women are very intuitive. Are there any intuitive women out there listening right now? Women are intuitive. And at times I am very intuitive. I might sense something wrong. I have a science background, yeah, I have a science background. And so, like, you're taught to be able to like look at something and you ask questions. You're actually focusing on what is stands out, and so you're analyzing what's going on. Sorry. So did the woman see someone? Maybe they were wearing something. Maybe did they have a mask on? But to sense that something is different. And I've been in situations like I remember like I was on a train and I just felt uncomfortable. Sometimes I might feel uncomfortable about someone. I mean, some things are more so-called obvious. You might see a derelict and um, they're looking kind of weird, and you just don't want to chance it. Things like that. But other times, you just don't want to take a chance. Some things, you sometimes you get too overly sensitive about things. You might be over processing something, and it's being over exaggerated in your mind, and it's not as bad as you think. But for someone like this woman to react this way, what in the world scared her? Or are people just, is it, what does anybody know this person? Does anyone know what, because I checked on social media to try to find out what was really going on. Because maybe, there just maybe 3 or 4 videos like this, but I could not find any explanation, who the name of the person. Maybe they were talking to the news, something, but I couldn't find anything. But if someone knows what actually happened, let us know. Uh, it's just weird. It's just a weird incident, but um, people, people are reacting. People are reacting right now, and uh, I mean, maybe I shouldn't make light of it, but when I first saw it, it just got me thinking. Yeah, I saw this first, this video that we see here first, before about the other video regarding the masks and everything. But it's like let me turn it back. But it's like, it seems like collaborations of Hollywood meets CIA and vice versa, and the love of one's country, patriotism, and sometimes there's a fusion of all those things together, like that movie Argo. Seems to embrace the patriotism, bringing home the people from Iran, involved the CIA and Hollywood. And when something was important enough, it seems like it borrows Hollywood. And I'm just saying today that I ask myself, are the things that we're seeing now, whether it be on the internet or on television, is it real? Is it? Hey, you show the mask, and they had a Biden mask, an Obama mask. How many times when we look at something and we wonder why they're acting weird, is it someone pretending to be them? You gotta ask yourself, what is going on? What is going on, people? Yeah, so it's the signs of the times that maybe some of the things that we see on television, whether it be in France, are these just things set up? Or are the things that we see, that some of the things might be set up, let's say, but let's say some things aren't? I mean, someone got hurt in France, the mayor's wife and little kids. These are little kids to do that. And I feel a place like New York City, It's a prime place. You have many different ethnic groups. You have a lot of neighborhoods, what I call neighborhoody type places. And it seems like no one wants to embrace the flag, the American flag, and so what if someone from a particular demographics, like what happened in Paris, would they do that here? And I think they would. But interesting here that you don't really hear the people from North Africa. I don't see the police doing anything to harass them. They allowed enterprise. Many of the food vendors are from North Africa. Um, I'm not sure what else, what other industry they do, but in New York City, Manhattan at least, that's where many of them work at. They're quiet. They don't bother anyone, and the politics isn't targeting what we would call Arab speakers, but they target other groups, and I wonder whether all these things are. It's I feel as though that situations are like set up that they want to provoke certain individuals to react a certain way because they want a response. They want a particular response because they have an agenda, and so we have to try to see through people's intent. They want to agitate. They want to try to initiate race riots. New York City has always been very um, into groups and everything. Uh, I love New York City though, and I think people just tired. People are tired. People just want to live and be happy. But I feel that there are certain things, certain social things are happening simultaneously. Different things are happening behind the scenes, and it's setting up. It's like making a movie production. You have things set up in different locations. When the time is ready, they're gonna just boom. That's what I feel. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Um, yeah. So yeah, maybe some people are seeing through the reality, like that lady that some people are not real. Maybe it's just with like that movie Wag the Dog. It's a wag the dog type of thing happening. Things are made up. What you see on screen is it may not be real. They can have actors, actresses, props, things that look like something, but it's not. Remember a couple of years ago in Nice, France, that big white truck that allegedly ran over people. Remember the reports were saying that some of the things, the, the so-called victims, that many of the so-called victims were mannequins. Remember that, people. Try to remember. This happened a couple of years ago. Maybe, what was that, 7 years ago? 8 years ago? Yeah, I remember that. And that's when I started to really look in the media with a more sharp eye because I started to ask questions. People, start asking yourself questions, logical questions. Is this feasible? What will you do if you're in a situation? And ask yourself, is this something that is a legit type of response? Ask yourself these questions. Don't just sip the Kool-Aid. Really ponder. Is this just another wag the dog movie? Yeah, take a look at that movie. It was I wish it were on YouTube. I mean, it used to be on YouTube. Maybe they might have a clip to introduce what the movie is about. Yeah. So I did enjoy the movie Argo with Ben Affleck about the Iran hostage situation. Um, yeah, we need world peace. We need world peace. Stop wishing those, in your prayers, to pray for peace for everyone. Before I went outside today, I speak words of protection over me, my little dogs, and also for the planet. We all need it. We all need prayers. Yeah. So that's gonna be it, and I'm gonna call it for the day. I'll probably watch another movie. Yeah, I bought a combo, and yeah, sometimes I do that. I binge watch movies, so I got one more movie to see, and I don't even remember the name. It came for a 2 for 1. It was real cheap, 6.99 for 2 movies. It looks like it's gonna be good too. Yeah. So yes, I love my country. I love America, and I want us all safe. This really is a great place. It has all types of people, but we just have to learn how to come together to try to find something that could unite us. And no, I do not want any what do you call it, alien from outer space scenario. No, I don't want that. See, they're trying to do that. Remember, was it Reagan mentioned about that? What could unite people? Having good food could unite people, I think. Yeah, that now that's an option. Give everybody a coupon that you could buy a free whatever to eat, and lets everybody just sit on their door, what do you call it, their porch or their staircase, a park bench, and just chill out. Yeah, just have a good meal and enjoy and share with your neighbors, something like that. So I thank you again for another beautiful day, benevolent one, that me and my little doggies came home safely from shopping. And yes, this is a beautiful country. America the beautiful. Yes, it's okay to say America the beauty, the beautiful, that speak positive words to promote beauty in it. See, we're forgetting what true beauty is. This country really is beautiful, but we just got a little lost. Okay, well, let's get found quickly. Thank you again for this opportunity, and have a happy 4th of July day, this 2023. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. See you.